About 99% of our customers put the windmill together themselves. So let me show you what's included in the windmill kit. We'll start off with the motor and work our way through the entire kit. So here's the windmill kit. Now the motor is fully assembled. You don't have to put the gears in it or anything like that. But I want to show you a couple of items about the windmill motor. Of course, the bonnet would be on top. I took it off so you could see a little bit better. Now this is the hub where the wheel arms. Now we call them wheel arms. Most people call them spokes. But the wheel arm screws into here. Now we fill that full of grease and then we paint over the top of it because we really want to protect those threads in transit. So if you get it out to your place and you're not quite ready to put it together, we don't want dirt or anything going in there. So when you first look at it, that's grease inside there. It's not a problem with it. The threads are down inside and well protected. Now the other item, of course, oil comes with the windmill. Inside of the box with the oil is this little guy. This is the tail hook assembly that screws in the back of the motor. Now, you'll see the big box that everything comes in, and it's wood. So if somebody hits it with a forklift or you have it bouncing around in the back of your truck, we don't want this little thing falling out of the crack. So it'll be inside the oil box when you go look for it. Save you a phone call from calling me saying I'm missing the tail hook. Now, let's take a look at the big box that everything comes in. So the entire windmill assembly is packed inside this heavy wooden crate. Now, we don't mess around with cardboard boxes. We don't want parts getting poked through the side or you losing something. So everything you see that goes together to form the windmill is put inside of this heavy wooden box. Now here's the mast pipe assembly. So the motor actually sits down on this, and this takes the weight of the motor. So whenever you change a windmill out, you always want to change the mast pipe out. And then this is the tower furling mechanism, and I put it on a stub tower. The stub tower is not included. We have to know which size tower you want. But here it is installed. So this is the furling mechanism that turns the tail out of the wind and sets the brake. Mast pipe assembly. Of course, we include all the nuts and bolts. Cup of grease just to make sure you have what you need. And then we have wire that runs all the way down to this. This is the heavy-duty shutoff mechanism. You pull this to turn the windmill out of the wind and set the brake. So all of this is included in your windmill kit. So here you can see the furling system. My friend calls it the monkey works. This is the part that when you set the brake, this turns the tail out of the wind and actually applies the brake on the wind wheel. And then there's a linkage system here that hooks this all together, the tail spring, and the big heavy-duty tail buffer that's sort of like the shock absorber. And you can see all this in action in our video on what controls the speed of a windmill. So make sure you watch that video also. Here's the wind wheel assembly. Now it has the sails, the inner and outer bands, the clips, and of course the wheel arms. Now jump over to our video on how to build a windmill wheel and you'll see all these individual components that are included in the kit. Here's the pump rod assembly. Now this goes right up through the center of the tower, hooks to the yoke inside the windmill, and this is what goes up and down, and you hook your wood rod onto this, and you'll see that in some of our other videos. Now this is the tail bone. This hooks on the back of the windmill, and the tail vane goes on it. Now, every windmill has a different size tail vane. Bigger the wind wheel, the bigger the actual vane. And we can supply you with a blank tail vane so you can put your own custom art on there. There's a lot of examples on our website of different really cool artwork people have done. So, a little trivia here. If you have an 8-foot round wheel, then your tail vane is going to stick out about 8 feet. If you have a 12-foot wheel, tail vane's out about 12 feet. This is part of the counterbalance system, and it's very precise to get everything level. And here's another little thing. If you have an old 1933 Chicago air motor windmill, your tail vane is going to fit right onto this tailbone, because we're making a copy of the 1933 Chicago air motor windmill. So now you know what comes in the windmill box. So let's review. The motor comes in the kit fully assembled. There's the furl mechanism, the entire wheel assembly, and of course the tail bone and tail vane.